Whoops. Good afternoon. We welcome you into the MacArthur Center on the campus of Eckerd College as we begin to wrap up what has been a long week of basketball here at the MacArthur Center. This is day number 2 of the annual Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic, game number 1, featuring the Davenport University Panthers taking on the Spartans of the University of Tampa. I'm John Armstrong alongside Xavier McKnight, and both teams, Xavier, lost fairly close games in similar fashions. They were close in the first half, faced large-ish or large, in some cases, large deficits in the second half, both by trailed by double-digit points. Both Tampa and Davenport made late runs in their respective games. Davenport lost to Eckerd, as we saw in the first game, 77-70, and then Tampa lost to Wayne State, 72-63. Both made late runs. Davenport got within 5, Wayne State within 6. Couldn't close the gap, so they'll both be looking for their first win of the weekend here this afternoon.
Yeah, as always, pleasure to be here with you, John. A happy Saturday to everybody. A bright note for Tampa in that game last night. Jonathan Bryant II scoring 19 points. They're going to look to get him going early, as well as seniors Micah Brown and sophomore DeAndre Harvey contributing with 13 for Brown, 12 for Harvey on the scoring end. However, here was the difference maker in this game. The Spartans had 17 turnovers compared to Wayne State's just 7. So they're going to have to do a better job of taking care of the basketball today. And this Davenport team is one of those teams that can force turnovers, as we saw them do against Eckerd on yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out here today. But look for both of these teams to come out and play with great energy early as they just try to walk out of here with a W in this tournament.
Davenport looking for its first win of the season, coming into the game with a record of 0-4. Led in scoring yesterday by Jordan Sterling, who had 21 points on a fantastic shooting performance, was 8 of 12 from the floor, 5 of 7 from behind the arc. One of 4 Panthers has scored in double figures in the loss to Eckerd. Marcitas Lynch Jr. had 14, Jakob Dombeck had 11, and Chaz Birchfield had 10 points to go along with 9 rebounds. So we knew that even coming into the game yesterday, Davenport was going to have some balanced scoring offensively. Showed that yesterday. They just need to continue that, maybe get a few more stops on the defensive end to have a chance to knock off the Spartans.
What I'm going to be curious to see here, John, is if the Spartans go at Dombeck early to try to get him into foul trouble early. We saw when the Tritons did that yesterday, it changed some of the game plan that Davenport had against Eckerd yesterday. Let's see if Tampa takes a little of that game plan and tries to implement it into today's matchup.
Both teams have some size inside. Dombeck stands at 6'11", starting 5-man for the Spartans. Yarden Willis stands at 7 foot tall. And both teams do like to get post-entry passes to get their offense going, so we'll keep an eye on that defensive matchup in the paint. Tampa will be the home team in this game, wearing their home uniforms, going from right to left on your screen. Willis and Dombeck to jump it up in center circle on top of the EC logo. Ball is in the air. We're underway as the tip is loose, and Leto is able to pick it up for Tampa with the opening possession. Starters are DeAndre Harvey, Jonathan Bryant II, Jacob Harris, Tyson Leto, and Yarden Willis for the Spartans. As Leto goes in, loses his balance, it'll be called for the travel as he drives baseline. Starters for Davenport are Sterling, Leach Jr., Dombeck, Hodges, and Birchfield.
One of the things to watch here today, John, the contact battle. Are the refs going to continue to let both teams play on today, as they did in both matchups on yesterday? That'll be something to watch.
Hodges with it. Now the first post entry comes to Dombeck. Quick double team. He kicks it out. Ball swung to the opposite side. Here's Sterling. Had a big game yesterday. Cut off on the drive. Birchfield back to an open Sterling. Launches a 3. Grazes off the side of the iron. Goes out of bounds for the Tampa basketball.
He didn't get it to fall, but you got to like the ball movement that you see Davenport doing here early on, just sharing the rock.
So both teams come up empty on their first possessions. Eckerd and Wayne State will follow. The scheduled tip-off of 7 o'clock. Got a little late start in this one. Probably closer to 7:30 as there's a takeaway by Sterling. Launches it ahead to Hodges. Has his shot rejected, but Leach able to pick it up.
He took a hard spill on the floor, too. Good to see him be able to just bounce back up from that.
6'11" Dombeck shows he can stretch the floor as he knocks down the three-pointer from the top of the key. Davenport gets the first bucket.
And, John, that's a part of Dombeck's game we did not see yesterday when Davenport took on Eckerd. So I'll be curious to see how many times we see him do that today, going up there for that 3 ball.
Ball knocked away from Harvey. Sterling on the mid-range jumper is off the mark, and Harvey tips the ball away for the rebound. He got it away from Dombeck. Long three-pointer on the way from Harris is good as he answers Dombeck. We're tied at 3.
Both teams getting it going from downtown here in the early going.
Here's Leach Jr. back in the corner to Hodges. Now Sterling is the Panthers working around the perimeter. Short pass to Leach Jr. misses the 3. Birchfield hustles in for the rebound, gets his hand on it, but can't control it as it goes out of bounds. Birchfield was aggressive on the boards against Eckerd yesterday, led his team with 9. One shy of a double-double. Full court pressure coming from the Panthers. Inbound pass comes to Bryan Jr. Had 19 points off the bench yesterday, moving into the starting lineup today for the Spartans and Coach Richard Schmidt, the longtime Spartan head coach. Leto ball over his head. Instead kicks it to the opposite wing. Long 3 on the way from Bryant Jr. is off. Rebounds tipped up and out and picked up by Sterling on the run. Down the left side he goes into the corner. Picks up his dribble down to the top. Birchfield puts it on the floor. Gets past Leto. Nice pass underneath to Dombeck, who goes up, tries the jam. Can't get it, but he'll draw the foul.
You see Tampa here. They're forcing Sterling to try to pick up his dribble here a lot here in the early going. So they took a page out of what they saw in the opening minutes that Davenport played against Eckerd on yesterday when Sterling got it going early, just raining in jump shots. They're forcing him to pick up his dribble and have to get his teammates more involved here.
Dombeck the line shooting 2. He's 15 of 20 from the line this season. First one on the way, back iron, no good. Second on the team in scoring, averaging 15 points per contest. Had a couple of Division I stops at Colorado and Hartford before landing at Davenport. Second free throw is short. He misses both, but we've got a whistle and a lane violation, so he'll get another chance at that second free throw.
And, John, we saw Davenport struggle early in the first half yesterday against Eckerd as well with making their free throws consecutively. We'll see if that made free throw there by Dombeck can help get them going from the strike.
4-3 lead for Davenport. About 3 minutes into the game here as Tampa breaks the full court pressure. Now it'll go to Harvey between the circles, working against Hodges. Man-to-man defense here being played by the Panthers. And an illegal screen on Tampa. As Leto called for the moving pick. First turnover of the game. No, fourth turnover of the game on Tampa. The logos are backwards on the live stats. So Tampa's turned it over 4 times now. Nearly a turnover by Davenport. But the Panthers able to pick up the loose ball on deflection by Bryant. Driving to the basket, having his shot blocked out of bounds is Birchfield as he challenged the 7-footer Willis. Willis stuffed it.
Size advantage won out on that one.
So with 10 seconds on the shot clock, baseline out of bounds upcoming for the Panthers. Hodges to bring it in. Lobs it across the timeline to Sterling. Sterling on the dribble with the right hand, kicks it out to Hodges. Hodges fakes right, goes left, fall away from the free throw line. Doesn't draw iron, and Willis with a rebound. Good defense on that possession by Tampa. And a foul on the perimeter as Hodges called for bumping Harvey. First foul of the half on the Panthers as Harris brings it in from the far sideline. Now Harvey working off the ball screen at the top from Leto. To Willis looking for the high-low feed. He'll instead work it to the right wing. Pull-up jumper from 15 from Harris is long. Leto with the offensive rebound. Shot fake, puts it back up and in and draws the foul.
Did a good job of just eating that contact and going up strong. Now he's going to the line for a 3-point play opportunity right there.
He draws the foul on Dombeck, his first. Leto, 8 of 15 from the line this season. And that one rolls out. Rebound tipped out by Willis. Now a wide open 3 on the way. Rattles out for Bryant the second. Willis coming up favoring an ankle there.
That'll be something to watch.
Birchfield driving to the baseline on the right or left side, rather. He's bumped and fouled by Harvey. So already 3 fouls on Tampa, just inside 4 minutes gone in this first half. Couple of subs incoming for the Panthers as we're 3 seconds away from the next dead ball, bringing our first media timeout. Isaiah Young came in for Tampa. Luke Berra in for Davenport as he takes the inbound pass. Birchfield fakes the handoff, goes in, shot fake, gets Harris in the air, but misses the bunny. And the rebound taken down by Harris. And a push-off called on Leto as he had the mismatch with Barrow working to try to get position, but pushed him off. That's 2 early fouls on Tyson Leto. And that foul brings us to the first media timeout of the half. 15:45 to go in the first half. Tampa leads Davenport 5-4. You're watching Triton basketball and the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. .45 to go in the first half. Tampa with the early 5-4 lead over Davenport University. John Armstrong alongside Xavier McKnight. First of 2 here to wrap up a long weekend of basketball from the MacArthur Center. This is part of the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic, an annual Thanksgiving tradition here at Eckerd College. We were happy to host the St. Pete Showcase for the second straight year, featuring 5 NCAA Division I women's games that wrapped up today.
John, one of the things we're seeing Davenport here do early on the defensive end of the floor, Birchfield is playing a lot out there on the perimeter defense, and to me that's complicating a lot of what Tampa probably would like to do, especially in transition, having that size advantage out there on the perimeter.
Well, Birchfield finishes in the paint on the other end, puts Davenport back on top by 1 with his first basket of the evening. Willis one dribble and picks it up, gives it off to Young. Young on the dribble, top of the key. Gets the ball screen from Willis. Now to Bryant Brown as he drives to the basket, scoops it up and in with the right hand.
That was a beautiful move that we just saw right there.
Spartans.
We'll see if Tampa can get more of that to get themselves going here on the offensive end.
Spartans back up by 1. Barra behind the back dribble. He's cut off, though, by Harris. Now Birchfield backing his way in, and it'll be called for the travel as his pivot foot slid a bit after he lost balance, picking up his dribble. And turnover number 1 for Davenport. Tampa's given the ball away 5 times, but shooting 50% from the floor. Davenport off to a cold start, just 2 of 8.
They're off to a cold start, but it's encouraging to see this from Davenport so far, that being their first turnover, because, John, as we know, they had 11 in the first half in their game against Eckerd on yesterday. So let's see if they can continue to do a good job of taking care of the basketball for the most part.
Brown goes to the basket, contested by Carrier. Carrier knocks it away, but the ball will stay with the Spartans with 7 on the shot clock. They'll bring it in from the baseline near the corner. Carrier and Willis implored by the baseline official to cut out whatever it was they were doing. And it comes to Young. Now to Bryant, top of the key, just inside the arc. Dribbles to the left to get free, launches the jumper. It's no good, and Carrier runs down the rebound.
Bryant is getting good looks. The shots just aren't falling right now.
Long pass ahead down to Sterling, still looking to get his first basket after 21 points yesterday. And Leach Jr. will be fouled on the dribble. Fouls on Young, his first, team foul number 5.
Spartans are doing a really nice job of keeping Sterling contained here in the early going.
Inbound pass almost stolen by Bryant. Wide open three launched by Berra, rattles out. And Bryant Brown for with the rebound for the Spartans. Actually, that was Jonathan Bryant.
That's another good possession right here on the defensive end we're seeing here by Davenport so far, though, because normally that would be an easy in the transition fast break basket for Tampa right here. Davenport did a really good job getting their men back on defense to prevent that from happening.
Looking for the post feed is Bryant. The pass is deflected, though, by Sterling, stolen away. Sterling crosses over into the lane, now pulls it back behind the arc, hands it off to Leach. Leach to bounce into the post. Gets it back top of the key, hesitates, then pulls the trigger on the long three. It rattles out. Rebound picked up by Young.
That's a lot of what we saw on Friday, too. See if they can get Leach going in the offensive game a little more here in the first half. That being Davenport.
And Willis out between the circles, over to Bryant on the left side. Harris with a beautiful pass to a cutting Bryant Brown all alone underneath, who lays it up and in. Tampa leads by 3 now. It's 9-6.
Beautiful off-the-ball movement leading to you getting the ball right there wide open in the paint.
Carrier going baseline. Floats it back out to Sterling. Sterling thinks about the three, now puts it on the floor. Back out to Carrier. Shot fake inside the arc. 15-foot jumper is too strong. Rebound tipped up and Felton, and it rolls in as he had the size advantage on Bryant Brown and used it to his advantage for the basket. Harris, intended receiver, pass tipped away and stolen by Marcitas Lynch, who glides to the basket for the easy deuce.
Leach did an excellent job lurking in there, almost like a defensive back in football, coming away with that takeaway, getting the basket on the other end of the court.
Well, Davenport back in front, 10-9. He has flip-flopped in this one several times in the early going. 4 lead changes already. Jonathan Bryant puts it on the floor to the basket, draws contact, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2 after this media timeout. 11:44 to go in the first half. Davenport leading Tampa 10-9. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Tampa shooting 2 at the line after the foul before the timeout. It'll be Jonathan Bryant II heading to the line. At 19 points yesterday off the bench, and Tampa's lost to Wayne State. Looking for his first points of the afternoon here against Davenport, and a chance to put Tampa back on top.
And sometimes even some made free throws will help you get your game going offensively, and he definitely needs to get that going today.
First one rolls out. Both teams having free throw shooting woes right now. Tampa 0 of 2 from the line. Davenport 1 of 2. Not many trips yet, though. Second one from Bryant is good. And we're knotted up at 10. Vera will bring it into the front court. He's guarded by White, who came into the game during the timeout. Cetus slashing into the lane. Dribble picked up. And a 3-second violation on Miller, who picked up his dribble with a foot in the lane, had nowhere to go with it. And the Panthers turn it over for just the second time in the game.
I got to give him some slight credit, though, John. He did a good job of not traveling because he had nowhere to even go with the basketball at that point either. It's a turnover either way, but a good job on just not traveling with it because he was a little confused on what to do there for a second.
Fantastic cut from the top by White to the basket as he gets the easy layup. Tampa pulls ahead by 2. Dombeck back into the game, hands it off to Berra. Berra slashes through to the basket, drops it off for Leach Jr. His shot is blocked by Willis. Gets his own rebound. Second effort blocked by Willis. Dombeck there, though, to pick up the ball and lays it in.
See if Dombeck can pick it up and get it going offensively here for Davenport. With a little more than 10 remaining here in this first half.
12-12 our score. Willis at the top of the key. Dombeck sacking off of him a little bit. Now works it opposite side to Harris. Harris on the dribble. Switch picked up by Dombeck. They got the matchup they want inside with Willis. Brown tries to thread the needle to, but the ball deflected and stolen away. Here comes Bear to the top of the key. Between the legs dribble. Bounces it over to Dombeck. Now back to the basket on the right block. He'll work solo here against Willis. Squares and faces up, now back to the basket, spins, kicks it across to Barra. Shot fake, steps inside the arc. Good look into the corner for the wide open 3, but it's off the mark. Good ball movement, but Miller misses from the corner. Now Bryant Brown fouled by Leach Jr.
But as you said, John, both teams struggling to get it going on offense for both sides here in this first half. So far, low scoring 12-12 affair. Just a little more than 10 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Birchfield comes back in for Carrier for the Panthers. Tampa brings it in from the far sideline, and it comes to White. It's a screen from Brown. Now the lob into Brown after the screen as Brown slips to the basket, challenges Dombeck. Dombeck alters the shot. Now the ball is loose on the floor, and Davenport comes away with it. Miller hustles, dives on it, and keeps it in possession for Davenport. Vera working off the dribble now to Birchfield. Birchfield fires the pass into the post. Dombeck turnaround floater over Willis is good.
That might be more what Davenport needs to do, John. Just dump it down low to Dombeck and let him get it going.
And we're tied at 12. Third time the game's been tied. We've had 5 lead changes in a back-and-forth contest thus far. Here's Jonathan Bryant, the second, back to the basket, working against Berra. Fadeaway, floats it up with the left hand and gets the roll.
Good to see Bryant get his first basket this contest. See if he can build upon that going forward.
Birchfield passes up the open 3, takes it to the free throw line. His jumper is no good. And White slows it down into the front court. Willis tries to thread the needle on a bounce pass into the post. Leach gets a hand on it. Harris dives on the floor to keep the loose ball alive, and while he's on the floor, he's fouled by Birchfield.
Excellent effort there by Harris, diving after that loose ball, creating another opportunity for his team.
We've got 14-14 on the scoreboard. Live stats, though, showing 14-12. A missed jumper by Tampa, and we've got a foul underneath on the rebound on Tampa. And that well, they're saying they're shooting, but the scoreboard's showing just 5 fouls on the team. Oh. I'm not sure what was called. It may have been a flop. I think I might have seen the officials, one of the baseline. Yeah, I believe it was Xavier. I think there was a flop on the rebound action. At any rate, it put Bear at the line for one free throw, and he made it.
Just a way to convert on your opportunities when they're being given to you.
We're going to go with what's on the scoreboard as official. Call it 15-14. Here's Leach, guarded by White. White all over him, has to lob it to Dombeck. Dombeck now puts it on the floor against Willis, loses it. Able to pick it back up, hand it off to Vera. Vera over the shoulder pass to Dombeck, who launches a three. It's short. And Bryant wins the battle for the rebound, and he'll draw the foul on Hodges after pulling the rebound down.
Really nice job there by Bryant, going down there amongst the trees and bringing that ball down.
That wasn't Hodges. That was actually Jaden Terrell into the game for the first time. Again, Davenport with the dark red numbers on the black jerseys. Sometimes it makes it hard to see them from our vantage point, especially when you're like me and can't see that well to begin with. Birchfield ties up Harris as Harris brings it across midcourt. That'll swing possession back to Davenport.
John, we're starting to see a couple of more whistles get called here in this first half.
Spartans are in the bonus now after the sixth foul on Davenport. Tampa's got 5 fouls called against them, so one more to give before they put the Panthers in the bonus. Leach picks up his dribble in a awkward spot, able to lob it up to the top to Dombeck. Dombeck crossing over, going down to the left block against Willis. Shot off the side of the backboard's no good. Harris comes away with the rebound, and he's fouled on the rebound by Terrell. So 2 quick fouls on Terrell, and that will send Tampa to the line to shoot 1 and 1.
You got to give both teams credit for playing good defense out here in the early going, but they're also just not converting on some of their shots either.
That will bring us to the under 8 media timeout with 7:47 to go in the first half. Davenport leads Tampa 15-14. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Been a back and forth battle here between Tampa and Davenport. Davenport with a 1-point lead at 15-14, 7:47 to go in the first half. But Tampa with a chance to retake the lead with Harris at the line shooting 1 and 1. Harris, the 6'8 junior from Ackworth, Georgia.
See if Harris can convert on these opportunities here to give Tampa the lead here, or at least tie things up with one made free throw.
Sorting out some confusion at the table at the moment. Again, it'll be Eckerd taking on Wayne State coming up in the finale with the scheduled tip-off of 7 o'clock. Probably won't make that. We'll be looking somewhere probably between 7:15 a little later because our first women's game of the day is part of the St. Pete Showcase. Saw University of Florida and the University of Houston in a thrilling game going to overtime. That put us behind schedule a little bit. Ready to go. Harris at the line, shooting 1 in the bonus. First one on the way is no good. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Bryant as he knocks it away from Birchfield.
Both teams continue to struggle shooting the ball from the free throw line here in this first half.
Tampa just 1 of 4 from the line, trailed by 1. Dombeck tried to fire it inside. Looked like he was going to shoot the three, Xavier, but then he saw Birchfield, where he thought was cutting underneath the basket all alone. Birchfield looked like was expecting the shot, never saw the pass.
Yeah, miscommunication there by the teammates, but it was really misleading what Dombeck was doing there for a second because, as you said, he went into the shooting motion, but he saw Birchfield cut, and then the shooter turned into a pass, and Birchfield just wasn't ready for it.
Harris on the right wing. Go back between the circles to White. Gets the handoff back from Bryant Brown. His jumper from 15 rattles out. Dombeck goes back above Bryant Brown to pull down the rebound. Leach Jr. drives to the right elbow, pulls up and sticks the jumper. Leach has 4, and Davenport's lead is 3.
Somebody's got to get it going here for both of these teams, though. It's very low scoring here in the early going so far.
White looking for a ball screen from Brown. Picks up his dribble, now gives it back off to Brown. Brown looking for Willis. As Willis from the high post dropped to the basket, but the pass was too strong as it sails out of bounds.
Pair of miscommunication there between those teammates as well.
And Tampa's now turned it over 11 times.
And that's what Davenport did yesterday in the first half against Eckerd. 11 turnovers on yesterday.
Birchfield looking for the post feed to Leach. Leach faces up, pulls the jumper from 15 feet and knocks it down. So back-to-back mid-range jumpers knocked down by the left-handed shooting Marcellus Leach Jr. as he's got 6, and Davenport extends its lead to 5.
Let's see if Davenport can, let's see if Tampa can lock in here and try to prevent any further turnovers on their end here to close out this first half. Because they're on pace to breaking the amount of turnovers they had in their game yesterday.
Bryant slashes to the basket, loses the handle on the way up, but he's fouled. So he'll head to the line to shoot. See if it was called on the floor or on the shot. Looked like he was in the shooting motion. Foul's called on Hodges, his second. And it was called on the shot, so Jonathan Bryant, the second, will shoot 2.
Well, the good news for Tampa, John, they're in the bonus at this point. So any time they get fouled, they're going to the foul line. The bad news of that is they haven't done a good job so far today of making those free throws.
And missed again there for Bryant. He's 1 of 3 from the line. Spartans 1 of 5 now as a team.
So when you get those opportunities, you have to convert on them.
They corrected that foul. It was not on Hodges, it was on Birchfield. Well, Birchfield will actually stay in the game. Or Hodges, rather, will actually stay in the game. Hodges had previously been pulled out. They thought he had picked up a second foul. Bryant makes the second free throw. It was 19-15. Davenport leading by 4 with the basketball. Hodges crosses over, gets to the right block now, turns away from the basket, gives it off to Leach. Falling away on the right side, his three-pointer is off the mark, and a foul on the rebound action from Dombeck as he pushed off on Willis.
That shot was a little off balance there by Leach.
So that's 2 fouls now on Dombeck. We'll see if Felton comes back into the game, and indeed he heads to the scorer's table. You don't lose really any size when Felton comes in. Felton at 6'10". He's a freshman, redshirt freshman from Mason, Michigan. Arden Willis at the line, shooting 1 and 1. And that's the 9th foul of the half on Davenport. So the next one puts Tampa into the double bonus, just inside 6 minutes to play.
And John, this is one of the issues Davenport ran into yesterday in the game against Eckerd on Friday. Dombeck getting in foul trouble in the early going and them not being able to keep him out there on the floor. As we see, when he's out there and he's able to be aggressive, he is a difference maker.
Another missed free throw by Tampa on the front end of the 1 and 1. Spartans really struggling from the line, just 1 and 6. Here's Sterling still scoreless. Nice pass on the drive underneath. Carrier goes up. That has looked like he was going up for the two-hand dunk. Had it blocked, though, by Willis.
Beautiful rejection there by Willis.
And Tampa away with a loose ball. Here's Harris, has some space, hesitates, goes baseline, lays it off the glass, can't get the roll. Rebound on the floor, still being tipped around. Felton comes away with it, spins away from Harris to avoid the jump ball. Now here come the Panthers. Up by 5, or up by 4 rather, with 5 minutes to go. Hodges all the way to the basket. One-handed scoop shot is no good. Tip attempt by Carrier is off, or rather by Felton is off, but he'll be fouled on that putback attempt. Head to the line to shoot 2.
John, one of the things both of these teams are doing a good job here of in the early goings here as 5 minutes remain here, just a little more than 5 minutes rather in this first half. They're doing a good job of causing enough of an issue in the paint to where there are enough hands that are flying around. There's enough contact that's happening down there that's not being called for a foul, that's not allowing these layups and these runners to fall in the basket.
Felton misses the first of 2. It's his first miss from the free throw line this season. He'd only been there 2 attempts previously. Knocks down 1 of 2, so he's in the books with a point. And the lead to 5 now for the Panthers at 20-15 inside 5 minutes to go first half. Bryant Brown gives it to a cutting White. Guarded by Hodges, going one-on-one, back to the basket, picks up his dribble, has to drop it off to Harris. Harris in the corner on the right side, down to 10 on the shot clock, gives it back to White. Quick catch and shoot 3 from the corner is no good. Bryant's tip is no good as it rolls out, but he's fouled on the shot. Is that one? I think that one actually will go on Hodges. Hodges not very happy with that call as he picks up his second foul.
John, it looks like this, as this first half prepares to come to an end with a little more than 4 minutes left, this may end up being the battle of the free throws to close this thing out before they go into halftime to work on some adjustments.
First free throw from Bryant is good. It's 3 of 5 from the line now as Bear will come back in. Hodges taking a seat with the second foul.
There have been a total of 16 fouls called here in the first half alone in this matchup.
Second free throw good. First time Tampa goes to the line and makes good on 2 free throw attempts. Bryant's got 6 and the deficit down to 3. Barra directing traffic as he works against Harris. And Carrier to Leach. Leach looking for the high ball screen, uses it on the left side of the elbow, kicks it into the corner. And an offensive foul called on the drive on Leach after he passes it away, with Bryant Brown stepping in front and drawing the contact. Well, 2 fouls now on Leach Jr. You got him with 2 fouls, Terrell with 2 fouls, Dombeck with 2 fouls, Hodges with 2, and Birchfield with 2.
Leach is one of their few guys that's actually getting some of his shots to fall right now, so that'll be something to watch here as we close out this first half. How aggressive will he continue to play?
Here's Bryant. Has it stripped away. Ball's loose on the floor. Sterling had it, but he's on the sideline. So Tampa will keep possession. Miller will come back in for the Panthers. Leach Jr. will take his seat after picking up his second foul. Next dead ball will bring us to the under 4 media. And it comes to White. Looking for the high ball screen. Bounces it over to Brown. Brown with the ball on his hip, now puts it on the floor to the elbow, to the right block, lays it up, no, but he'll draw the foul. And he'll head to the line to shoot a pair following the under 4 media timeout. 3:53 to go in the first half. Davenport leads Tampa 20-17. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Spartans back at the free throw line as we come out of the under 4 media timeout. This is Bryant Brown making his first trip to the free throw line this evening. Spartans now in the double bonus the rest of the way as the first free throw is good.
That's an encouraging sign to see for Tampa. Bryant Brown knocking down that free throw. We'll see if that can start a streak for him and the team as a whole, as they had not done a very good job here in this first half of knocking down their shots from the stripe.
Second free throw is back iron, no good, and the rebound comes out to Sterling. Tampa's been able to hang around by getting to the free throw line. Spartans have been without a field goal in the last 5+ minutes. Here's Barra working along the screen. Gets open, launches a three from the top of the key. It's off the back of the iron, and Willis with the rebound for the Spartans. 2-point ball game. Davenport with a 20-18 lead. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. And it goes to Willis. Quickly double team, spins out of it, gets it out to the top to White. White into the lane. Tries to lob it up for Bryant Brown. Ball tipped away, though, and stolen by Felton.
That's an excellent play of awareness there by Felton. Not allowing that ball to even touch Bryant's hands.
Carrier driving baseline into traffic, gives it off to Felton. Felton will be called for the travel before he kicks it out to Sterling. Been a scoring drought for both teams. Shooting drought, I should say. Tampa, no field goals in the last 7 minutes. Davenport hasn't made one in the last 3+. And the Spartans have been able to hang around by getting to the free throw line. There's a nice pass inside to Willis. Willis shot fakes to get free, goes up with a reverse layup. Has it stuffed by Felton, but Felton gets him with the body. So now Willis will head back to the line for the second time today.
Let's see if Willis can knock down his free throws here to get some points on the board that would actually tie this up at 20-all if he can knock down both of these.
The Spartans have been able to continue to attack the basket as the free throw disparity continues to grow. Tampa will have shot 13 after the second one from Willis. Only 5 for Davenport, and Tampa has missed the front end of a few 1-and-1 opportunities as well. So they've had more opportunities. Could have come from the free throw line. Second free throw is good. He goes 1 of 2, and it's a 1-point ball game. Spartans 6 of 13 now for the line in the game. Davenport dealing with foul trouble. Several players with 2 fouls in this first half. Pass across the defense to Carrier for the open three. Grazes off the side of the rim. Bryant comes away with the rebound.
He was fortunate to get that to go off the side of the rim. It looked like he had almost missed the basket completely there.
Bryant gets hung up in the air, passes it off just before he comes down, and Bryant Brown is fouled on the drive.
You see Davenport, John, we're watching their bench. They wanted to travel on that pass there by Bryant.
Foul on Carrier is his second, so he'll join 5 other players on his team with 2 fouls. And Bryant Brown will shoot 2. He's 1 of 2 from the line in the game. First, we'll pause for a spot on the floor to be mopped up. It's a busy day of basketball in the Sunshine State Conference in both women's and men's action. We'll update you on some of those scores from around the conference for those Sunshine State Conference fans tuning in. First free throw from Brown is good. That ties it at 20. Now Tampa with a chance to take its first lead since the 12:30 mark. And they do, as Brown makes good on both.
All right, Brown makes a pair of free throws right there. Let's see if that can start a streak here of made free throws for Tampa.
Miller over to Barra. Barra goes baseline on the left side, kicks it back out to the top. Carrier now to Miller again. Miller in the corner to Sterling. Sterling slashes his way into the lane. Floater is short, and Bryant second takes down the rebound.
Sterling is struggling so far here today, John. He cannot get it going from anywhere so far.
Which quick catch and shoot three by Harris is no good, and we'll have a foul on the rebound on Miller. He tried to battle the 7-foot Willis and lost that battle. Now Willis back at the free throw line. He's 1 of 3 from the line in the game. Spartans with a 15-5 advantage from the free throw line. It'll be 17-5 after these 2 free throws from Willis, the first of which is good. And Jim gets silent as the second free throw hits the back iron. Felton with the rebound. Barra slings it back out to the top to Carrier, who swings it to the opposite side himself for the open 3 for Miller, but it's an air ball.
Missed everything on that one.
Davenport really struggling to get anything going from behind the arc. Panthers now 1 of 11 from three-point range. Brown hesitates, or rather, Bryant hesitates, goes to the basket, has his shot blocked out of bounds on the baseline. Tampa has moved in front with a 7-0 run despite not making a field goal in the last 7 minutes and 42 seconds. They've been able to attack the basket and draw fouls and then get it done on the defensive end as well. Davenport has missed its last 7 shots. The difference is Davenport has also not been able to get to the free throw line. Here's another turnover by the Spartans, 14th of the game.
Sterling bringing this ball up here in transition.
Felton gives it off to Barra. Barra swings it across to Sterling, spots and shoots the open 3, and it rattles home.
And that's got to be a welcome sign for him.
And a timeout called by Davenport as the Panthers move back ahead by 1 at 23-22 as they'll call the quick timeout with 1:05 to go in this first half. This will be a good time to, a 30-second timeout, to take a quick look around the Sunshine State Conference. Look at the men's basketball games as we find them on the scoreboard. A lot of women's action. Need to refresh it. Here we go at halftime. Nova Southeastern has a 20-point lead over Francis Marion, 53-33. It's actually the only one showing up on the scoreboard. There's a few other games that'll be in action, just not showing up on the scoreboard right now. Wingate at Embry-Riddle. St. Leo taking on Anderson of South Carolina. Wisconsin Parkside's at Florida Southern later. Trevecca Nazarene taking on Florida Tech as well today. Some of those may not be underway as we're still a little early in the evening. 1 minute to go in the first half. Davenport is pulled back on top by a point. Bryant goes baseline on the left side of the basket. Can't get the roll on the layup. Rebound cleared out of traffic by Miller. Now Sterling loses a handle on the dribble, picks it up in the corner.
Did a good job of regathering himself there.
Now the 3 from Carrier's no good. Brown with the rebound. 5-second difference in the game clock and shot clock. We'll see if the Spartans try to work it down as far as possible. They won't, but we'll have a foul on the three-point attempt from White. And now we've got a tussle on the floor underneath the basket.
We also have a Tampa player who's down as well.
Willis is down being held back up. He's not the one that's shaken up. That, I think, is Bryant Brown that's slow to get up. Willis is the one, I think, that got tangled up, and the scuffle started with him and one of the Davenport players. And Brown, I think, was caught in the crossfire, so to speak.
Good to see him getting up.
And officials will talk this one over. White was fouled on his three-point attempt by Felton. I don't know if he was fouled on the shot or after the shot. It looked like if there was any contact, it came down after the shot, but we'll see what that call is. And, of course, with the extracurricular activity that went on underneath the basket, I'm sure we'll see at least one technical, if not double technical fouls. And some free throws potentially coming on both ends. I'll tell the scorers table. Official score, Bill Thornton. What's going on? Our officials for today's game. These aren't the right officials, so never mind. These are the ones on here are the ones from the last women's game. So we'll not pass those along to you and give them the wrong names. So they are going to review the replay on this to make sure they get it right. Look, Xavier, it's been a very interesting first half. Both teams have struggled shooting, both shooting at 29%. It's been physical, as we saw some of the tempers boiling over there on that last play. But both teams really maybe having some of the frustrations showing from just not being able to get anything going on the offensive end.
Yeah, John, we don't even have a combined 50 points in this game right now. And maybe that's leading to some of the frustration that we're seeing right now, not being able to convert on free throws, and the part of Davenport not being able to get to the line enough. So, it'll be interesting to see if these teams can use that extracurricular moment that we just saw there. Can you use that as fuel to help get you going as the course of this game continues to go on, or at least as we close this down to go to halftime and get some adjustments made to try to get some more points on the board as you come back here in the second half?
Well, Tampa's been able to stay in this game by getting to the free throw line. They're 9 of 17 from the line. Davenport, as you mentioned, has not been able to get to the line, not attacking the basket nearly like Tampa is. Davenport 3 of 5 from the free throw line. And the difference is Davenport's taken 14 more shots from the floor. They're 9 of 31 versus 5 of 17 for Tampa. Neither team has shot the ball well from three-point range. The Spartans just 1 of 5. Davenport 2 of 13.
And in the case of Davenport, it also should be noted, Dumbeck is in foul trouble again in the first half of this game, just like he was against Eckert on yesterday. So that's also playing a contributing factor as to why they're not able to get down in the paint as much as they would love to be able to. Because if he was able to be out there on the floor and not in foul trouble right now, they definitely would be dumping it down low to him.
You've got 6 players for Davenport with 2 fouls each, including 4 of their starters. That hasn't helped matters at all. They're continuing to review the previous play at the monitor. As mentioned, Triton men will be in action, we'll say this point. Tip-off will probably be 7:30, taking on Wayne State to wrap up the Eckerd Thanksgiving Classic. Triton men looking to go 4-0 for the first time since the 2018-19 season. They'll have their hands full.
John, one thing that's looking at Triton so far this year, there's a lot of depth. That is always a good thing to have. Never have
Still waiting for the officials to sort things out. At halftime, we'll step away for majority of halftime. We'll be back with about 3 minutes until 3 minutes on the clock before the second half gets underway to give you some halftime rundown of the halftime stats. Be the last game in the MacArthur Center after Eckerd's men's game until January 10th, when both teams will be back here taking on St. Leo. Not much action here for the Tritons at home in December. Only 2 home games for the Triton women. They'll take on St. Leo on December 10th, and then I believe we've got Rollins on December 29th.
Original foul ball was Davenport number 51, James Felton. In addition to that, we have double technical fouls on Tampa number 24, Yarden Willis, and Davenport number 40, Jeff Carrier. For Carrier, it's his second.
Okay, so we do have double technicals on that mix-up underneath the basket. It'll be a technical for Tampa on Willis.
Technical foul called on Davenport number 12, Jalen Hodges, his 3rd personal.
And 2 technicals on Davenport, 1 on Carrier. And I think Hodges got one as well, and I believe that came while he was in the huddle as the teams were talking. While the play was being reviewed, you saw one of the officials blow the whistle and point at the bench.
And that's also his 3rd personal foul, which is not good as they prepare to head into halftime.
Okay, so a lot of free throws upcoming here. So they'll shoot the technical fouls first. It'll be Harris shooting them for Tampa. First one is good. So we're tied at 23 after we sorted things out. Second one good. And now 3 free throws will be coming for White after he was fouled on the 3-point attempt. So no free throws off the double technical. Those offset each other. Tampa got 2 free throws off the second technical foul. That was assessed to Hodges, which I assume came while he was in the huddle on the sideline while the play was being sorted out. And now White at the line for his first trip to the line today. He'll shoot 3. First one is good.
Just goes to show the difference that these free throws can make in this game. Neither one of these teams have shot the ball well from the field in this first half. But 2 more made free throws here could give Tampa a 5-point lead in this contest. Well, 4-point lead in this contest.
White looking to make it 5 straight free throws on this trip for Tampa, but it's short, and the rebound to Carrier. But Davenport can play for the last shot here with 18 seconds, down by 3. Barra letting the clock milk down to 10. Now motions for the screen. Mid Carrier slips away. Backdoor pass is out of bounds. Last touched by Sterling. So Tampa gets the ball back underneath the Davenport basket, but 4.3 seconds left, so there is time to advance this ball and maybe get a shot. They'll have to go quickly as Bryant takes the inbound pass, crosses the timeline with 2 seconds, pulls up from the iron, Tritons launches a 3, front iron no, and we head to halftime with the Spartans on top. In a very physical first half, Spartans lead it 26-23. We'll break for about 12 minutes and be back with halftime stats for you. And then the second half from the MacArthur Center, you're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. The MacArthur Center, as the University of Tampa Spartans hold a 3-point lead over the Panthers of Davenport University, 26-23 in the final day of the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic. I'm John Armstrong alongside Xavier McKnight. And Xavier, as we said going into the break when we had a little bit of extra time to talk while the officials looked at the video replay, it wasn't a great offensive performance first half by either team. So what adjustments do you expect to see each team make as we go into half number 2?
Well, I expect these teams to find a way to get some more in the transition baskets going, try to find a way to crash the paint here a little bit. I feel like they're settling a little too much for the three-point shot. Live and die by the three type of game. And sometimes, and I've been alluding to this throughout the course of the week, it's okay to take a few a few feet further in to take those mid-range shots. But both of these teams have got to figure out how to get something going on the offensive side of the ball. It's 26-23 in favor of Tampa right now. But, John, it's not like these teams have necessarily played lockdown defense on each other, too. They've done a decent job of playing defense, but for the most part, their shots just are not falling right now.
Yeah, Tampa did not make a field goal in the last 9 minutes and 23 seconds of the first half, yet they were able to still pull ahead by virtue of getting to the free throw line. Spartans started slowly from the line, making just 2 of their first 7, but into the half making 11 of their next 15, so that helped matters quite a bit. Held a huge free throw advantage at the free throw line, shot 22 free throws versus only 5 for Davenport. So, you have to think Davenport's going to look to maybe try to attack the basket a little bit more and get to the free throw line more in the second half.
You definitely have to think that they have to find a way to get Sterling going as well as get Leach going as well. Dumbeck, it'd be nice to see if they can get him going as well, especially in the paint. But I expect Tampa to play him up very closely here. Try to force that third foul on him very early to make him have to play a little bit more softer than he would probably like to play.
And Davenport, speaking of fouls, is dealing with foul trouble. They have 2 players with 3 fouls each, Carrier and Hodges. Both of those players picked up those third fouls as technical fouls in that issue we had with about 24 seconds ago. 5 more players for the Panthers have 2 fouls each. Felton, Leach Jr., Terrell, Dombeck, and Birchfield. Not a lot of foul trouble on the side for Tampa. Only 2 players with 2 fouls, Harvey and Leto. They both came out early after picking up their second foul, both in the 5th minute of the game. Didn't come back into the game as Coach Schmidt preserved them in their third foul for the second half. If they get it in the second half. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on how foul trouble plays a factor, especially for the Panthers, as they've got so many players either with 3 fouls or on the verge of getting a third foul. Davenport will have possession as we begin the second half. Should have starters back on the floor for both teams, it looks like. Neither team shot the ball particularly well in the first half. Only 32% for Tampa, 29% for Davenport. Actually, Tampa basketball. Harvey takes the handoff, goes to the baseline, picks up his dribble, now gives it back to Willis, working solo against Dombeck. Here comes a double team. He'll spin, shoots it. It's no good. Rebound to Leach.
Outstretched arms of Dombeck a little too much right there.
Sterling dribbles in. 10-footer is good.
And that is a welcome sign for Davenport. Not only to see Sterling hitting that shot, but to see something falling in there on the offensive end.
He got lost in translation there, or translation in transition. Lost in translation, that's a saying in a movie. He's not a guy you want to lose in transition. Bryant goes into the lane, fakes left, and hits the open turnaround from on top of the SSC logo.
And that is a welcome sign for Tampa as well, to see Bryant getting it going on the offensive end.
The team's 2 leading scorers from a day ago look like they may be heating up in the second half. Birchfield into the lane, spins to his left shoulder, misses a shot with the right hand. Leto away with the rebound. Bryant hesitates into the lane, tries to drop it off to Willis. Was not touched by Davenport, so that'll go out of bounds.
Bit of miscommunication there by the Spartan teammates, Willis and Bryant, right there.
And Tampa turned the ball over 14 times in the first half. That's number 15 in the game.
Turned the ball over a total of 17 times on yesterday. They're coming very close to breaking that mark already with a lot of ball game left to be played.
Sterling fakes to his left, goes to his right, gets to the basket and finishes. He's got all 4 of Davenport's points here in the second half. It's a 1-point lead for the Spartans. Harvey works the opposite of the screen. Pull-up jump from 12 is short. Hodges away with the rebound. Now Sterling to the left block this time. Spin, fall away over Leto. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound and put back is good, though, from Birchfield.
Good move there by Birchfield, continuing to fight for the ball down low, coming up with the offensive board. Good put-back basket.
Davenport moves back in front. It's 29-28. After a cold shooting first half, Davenport has already made 3 shots from the field in the second.
John, one of the things we said at the start of this matchup here, we expected both of these teams to come out and play with really good energy, but expect a lot from Davenport here in the second half as they're fighting to get their first win of the season.
Harvey pass fakes and takes a three-pointer as the shot clock expires. It's an air ball, so that'll be a shot clock violation. Turnover number 16.
It's not the look from the top of the key that he wanted to get right there.
Panthers have moved back in front by 1 with the basketball now. Birchfield hands it off to Leach. Leach thinks about the 3 now, goes baseline on the right side, pull up off the window, no good, rebound to Harris. Harris will bring it into the front court, cross the timeline between the legs, dribble now, hands it off to Harvey. Harvey waiting for the ball screen. He'll use it on the right side from Willis. Slashes to the basket, shot, double pumps, but is blocked out of bounds by Dombeck.
Nice hands there by Dombeck.
17 on the shot clock. Spartans will inbound from the baseline.
An even better job of keeping his body out of the way there to not pick up that third foul.
Inbound pass comes to Leto. He'll hand it back off to Harris. Harris curls. Shot fake gets Leach in the air and past him and knocks down the jumper from 15. Harris has 7, and the Spartans back in front by 1. Another lead change. That is our 11th lead change of the game. Hodges loses the ball, picks it back up. Now Dombeck has it top of the key over to Sterling, working off a screen from Dombeck, top of the key, shaking and baking to the free throw line, to the elbow, or rather to the block. Shot fake. Harvey doesn't bite. He gets it on the second elevation, though, puts it off the glass as he's got 8 points in the second half. And the pass tipped and stolen by Dombeck out to Birchfield. Bounces behind him in transition. Three-pointer from Sterling is the back iron. No good. Rebound to Bryant. Long pass ahead down to Harvey. Harvey spins past Hodges. Now drives baseline where he's cut off. Hesitates, goes under. Reverse layup is good.
Nice move by Harvey. Losing the defender, going around the basket, coming up with that reverse layup.
Sterling challenges Willis at the rim. Shot is altered, and Leto with the rebound on the weak side. Harvey working off the screen at the top from Leto. Leto looking from the post feed. Instead, it goes back to Harvey, opposite side. As the Spartans work it around the perimeter, looking for the post entry to Willis. It's knocked out of bounds by Dombeck, and that quickly brings us to the under 16 media timeout. First 4 minutes of this second half have gone by quickly. 15:57 to go. In a battle, Spartans on top of Davenport, 32-31. Back with more after this. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Been a much better played offensive ball game on both ends in this first 4 minutes of the second half. After some cold shooting in the first half, Davenport's 4 of 9 from the field in the second half. Tampa 3 of 7.
And John, one of the things we're seeing is through it looks like some of the adjustments that were made by both clubs at halftime, they're finding ways to get more in transition baskets.
Tampa will inbound from the baseline near the corner, and it comes to White back into the ball game. Now to Bryant the second. Working here against Sterling. Dribbles free, shot fake, gets Sterling in the air, but nowhere to go with it. Skips it across now to White. White to the free throw line with a left-handed bounce ball stripped away and stolen. Long pass ahead down the right side to Leach Jr. He fakes, goes baseline, gets to the basket, gives it off to Birchfield, and Birchfield is fouled on the catch by Bryant.
It's a nice find there by Leach. It looked like he was going to go up and take it himself there for a second.
Only the first foul on Bryant. Birchfield takes the inbound pass to the left baseline, gets by Leto, misses the shot at the basket, rebound knocked away by Leto. Ball still on the floor as Leach Jr. slides into the bleachers trying to save that basketball, unable to do so, but you have to, that's actually Hodges, and you got to respect the hustle by Hodges there, putting his body on the line to try to keep that ball with Davenport. Wait to mop up the wet spot on the floor. That's Lauren Vieira, Eckerd women's basketball starting point guard, doing the work. Tried women had a big win today, ranked number 5 in the nation. 20-point win over number 9 Bentley. Harris left open for the three after Leach Jr. takes a chance on for the steal on the perimeter. He misses it. Now here comes Davenport. Birchfield, beautiful spin as he goes to the basket past his defender. Shot is blocked by Bryant, but Bryant gets him with the body. Birchfield will shoot two.
Bryant looked a little upset with himself on that one.
Birchfield will shoot a pair. First trip to the free throw line in the second half of the Panthers. First one in quite a while. They shot only 5 free throws in the first half, and those all came fairly early. First free throw from Birchfield is good. That's his first trip to the line today. He's got 5. And we're tied at 32. Second free throw rolls out. Harris with the rebound. Landed off to Harvey, and Harvey will walk it into the front court. 15 minutes to go. Leto out on the right wing. Now underneath to Harris it goes. Quick shot up with the left hand is no good. Birchfield with another rebound.
Enough hands right there to prevent that ball from going into the basket.
Dombeck, quick catch and shoot three from the top of the key is off. And Leto clears the rebound. Harvey working off the screen from Leto, gives it off to Harris on the left wing, looking for the feed into the post. Good catch by Leto, splits the defense, goes to the basket. Left-handed layup is blocked off the window by Dombeck. Here's Hodges away with the rebound, pushing it the other way to Dombeck in transition. Dombeck with 2 huge steps. When you're as tall as he is, that just exaggerates what already looks like a travel. When you got the strides he does, it makes it look even more like a travel.
It definitely does, but he's doing a really good job of just being aggressive on both ends of the floor here in the second half, especially on defense.
Runs the floor quite well for a 6'11" man, too. 8th turnover of the game for Davenport. And a pass from Harvey goes through the hands of Harris out of bounds into the Tampa bench. Well, an unforced error by the Spartans is their 19th giveaway of the game. Still tied at 32. It's our 7th tie of the game. Here's Leach. He spins and faces just inside the arc to the free throw line. Working against Bryant. Can't get Bryant in the air with the shot fake, and Bryant able to block the shot at close range.
Good rejection there by Bryant.
Now Harvey on the dribble, crosses over, gets to the elbow on the left side. Short bounce pass underneath. Drop step from Leto. Shot at the left hand is no good, but he draws the foul. So Leto will head to the line to shoot a pair. He's 0 of 1 from the line. Only played 4 minutes in the first half after picking up 2 quick fouls. First free throw is good. So he's got 3. Spartans move back ahead by 1.
If he can, the key for him, John, in the second half, remain out of foul trouble because your team needs you out there on the floor.
Misses the second. Willis tips the ball out of bounds over Birchfield, so it'll go to Davenport.
Willis also very fortunate that wasn't like an over-the-back foul call right there. It came pretty close.
Handoff to Leach as he shakes and bakes high off the glass. Looked like it rolled off the top of the backboard as he challenged Willis. Didn't fall. Now here come the Spartans. Bryant into the lane. Floater from 5 is no good. Dombeck with the rebound. Dombeck looking long. Instead, he has to hand it off to Berra. Berra pushing it down the floor now to Sterling. Sterling working off the screen at the top from Dombeck over to Berra. Quick shot fake goes baseline. He's cut off by Bryant. Dombeck fakes right, goes left, goes up for the dunk attempt. He's fouled by Leto. He'll head to the line to shoot 2.
Once again, John, we continue to see Dombeck be very aggressive here in this second half.
And Tampa has again gone cold from the floor.
So if you're Tampa, do you start going at Dombeck on the other end of the floor, getting him more into the paint so that you can try to force that third foul on him? Because clearly he's playing more loose knowing that he's got only 2 fouls right now.
Makes the first. Spartans have now gone 3+ minutes without a field goal. Missed their last 4 shots. Hasn't been much better for Davenport. They've only made 1 of their last 8, but now they're the ones getting to the free throw line. Dombeck gets the first and misses the second. Both teams started hot from the floor to begin the second half, but they've since gone cold. Harvey will pull it back between the circles, directing traffic, looking for the team to get into their offensive action. Now Bryant comes over to the right way, the left wing rather, where Harvey wanted him. Working against the zone. Pass underneath to Willis. Willis lays it up and in on the dribble penetration and dish from Harvey.
Well-needed basket there for Tampa.
Spartans back up by 2. In the corner, Barrett, quick catch and shoot 3. It's good. Another lead changes. Davenport reclaims it, 36-35. Harris all the way to the basket. Shot fake. It's Dombeck in the air. Finishes through the contact. Dombeck called with his 3rd foul.
And that is foul number 3. So now we see exactly what Davenport's going to do here. Do you leave Dombeck on the floor or do you take him out?
And I suspect we'll see Felton in short order. Not coming to the scores table right now, though. Well, Harris has 9. Chance to make it 10 from the free throw line for the traditional 3-point play. Free throw is good.
Dombeck's going to remain on the floor, John, and I'll tell you right now, if I'm the Spartans, my strategy, get another foul on him.
They may leave him on until the next media timeout. We'll be at the media, most likely on the next dead ball. Pass underneath to Birchfield. A nice drive and dish from Berra. Birchfield has 7, and we're tied at 38. Next dead ball will bring us to the under 12 media. Again, 1-3-1 zone shown here from Davenport. They've been in man most of the game. Changed his zone in the last possession. That's where Tampa got a little confused, but still able to score off of it. Harvey driving into the middle. Kicks it across to Harris. Harris waiting for the trap now to Harvey in the corner on the right side. Pulls it back to the wing, down to 4 on the shot clock. Harris has to launch it from just inside the volleyball spike line. Hits the glass, then the iron, but no good. Rebound taken down by Berra, and Berra feeds Dombeck on the run, and he goes up and throws it down with a one-hander.
And that's why you try to go get foul number 4, John, to prevent things like that from happening.
Again, Dombeck running the floor very well. That time, no one between him and the basket. He elevated and threw that one down with the right hand. Harris bounces it short corner. Leto catches, squares, faces, and knocks down the jumper. And we're tied at 40. Sterling drives to the right block, kicks it out to Barris. Shot fake, gets his defender in the air. Back to Sterling, who floats into the open space, launches the 3, can't get the roll. Rebound to Willis. Long pass ahead, Harris. Harris will challenge Dombeck. Shot fake. Dombeck stays down. Harris able to go up and put it off the window of the left hand. But as you said, Xavier, Dombeck playing with 3 fouls and knows it, probably not challenging that as aggressively as he normally would.
Good hesitation there on his part, being aware of the moment right then and there.
Berra drives to the basket, has his layup rejected by Willis, and that will bring us to the under 12 media timeout. 10:27 to go. Spartans leading Davenport by 2 points, 42-40. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. out of the timeout. Vera misses the three-pointer out of the timeout. And Bryant away with the rebound. Coming up on 10 minutes to go in the ballgame. John Armstrong alongside Xavier McKnight here from the MacArthur Center.
Well, John, we have come out of our second media timeout of this half, and Dumbeck is still on the floor.
Bryant drives baseline. Jumper on the way is good from 15 feet. And Tampa moves ahead by 4. Bryant into double figures with 10. Vera working off the screen at the top from Dombeck. Now to the top to Dombeck. One-touch pass underneath. It goes to Birchfield. Back to the basket. Kicks it back out to Sterling. Now to Vera. Vera fakes all the way to the basket. Has his shot blocked by Leto, but Leto gets him in the body. That'll be 4 on Leto. And that will send Vera to the line to shoot 2.
Vera took a tumble there on the floor, but good to see him bounce right back up. Head to the free throw line, see if he can knock down these free throws.
Luke Vera will shoot 2.
First free throw from Vera on the way is good. He's 2 of 2 from the line, 5 points in the game. For Vera, the freshman from Muskego, Wisconsin. And giving the Panthers good minutes in his first season, or his freshman season. Second free throw rattles home. 2-point ball game. Neither team has had more than, I believe, a 5-point lead. Yeah, the largest lead for Davenport has been 5. Largest for Tampa has been 4. Lob pass to Willis. Willis finds a cutting Harris underneath, who lays it up and in. Good cut by Harris into the empty space down the right lane.
Well, John, you see Dumbeck is not playing down low in the paint right now.
Lead back to 4 for Tampa at 46-42. Barrett to the free throw line. Floats it up, misses it. Rebound taken down by Harris. Harvey dribbles off the foot of Willis, picks it up in the backcourt. That'll be a backcourt violation. 20th turnover for the Spartans in the game. Quick catch and shoot 3 on the dribble handoff by Leach Jr. But what hustle on the weak side by, I believe that was Carrier.
Excellent hustle there by Carrier,
who ran that down, threw it off the leg of Harris out of bounds to maintain possession for the Panthers.
Just being aware of where you are on the floor.
Tampa's made its last 4 shots from the floor. Davenport's missed its last 5. Leach working his way in, skips it across the defense to Vera. Vera shakes and bakes, gets behind the arc, lets it fly and knocks it down. Got just enough space. Some fancy ball handling skills. Launched the 3 and Canada's second 3 of the game. He's got 9. And the Panthers are back within 1. Harvey goes to the basket. His shot is rejected off the window by Dombeck. Now Leach in the front court. Cross-court pass looking for Vera. Floats it too strong, or too high, rather.
Harvey doing an excellent job of just being where he needed to be to create that turnover.
And Harvey finds Harris in transition for the layup. Harris has 16, and the Spartans back ahead by 3. We'll be at the under 8 media timeout of the next dead ball. Here's Sterling to the free throw line into the corner. Barra, quick catch and shoot 3 on the way is good. Barra ties it up at 48.
Barra's got a bit of a streak going right now, John.
Plays with a lot of confidence. Spartans slowing it down now. Working it around the perimeter slowly as Harvey dribbles, looks for the screen. He's switched and picked up by Dombeck. Looking for the mismatch with Willis, is guarded by Barra, giving up about a foot in size difference. Bryant drives, has it stripped away. And here comes Barra. Barra gets a screen from Carrier. Thought about the 3 and gives it off to Dombeck. Carrier tries to cut back door. Ball knocked away. Comes away with it. Finds Sterling wide open. Launches a 3 and drains it. So after struggling from behind the arc for the game, 3 3-pointers for the Panthers the last few trips down the floor, and that's going to result in a timeout for Tampa as Davenport moves back in front, 51-48.
John, you've got to give Davenport credit with what we're seeing right now. Carrier in particular with these hustle plays that we're seeing, that easily could have been a turnover there by Dumbeck, but he stayed with his eyes on the ball, kept it there, found Sterling, knocked down a three. They now have a 3-point lead.
6:53 to go in the ball game. Davenport leads 51-48. Back in a moment. From the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. It'll be Tampa basketball out of the timeout. Spartans did call a timeout. They were charged with 30, but it did go to the media. Davenport on a quick 6-0 run. They've made their last 3 shots from the floor, all 3-pointers. Tampa hasn't been any slouch from the field lately either. Tampa's made 5 of its last 6.
No, both of these teams have done a good job getting their offenses going here in the second half. We see the basket there by Bryant.
Make it 6 of the last 7 from the floor for Tampa. It's back to a 1-point ball game at 51-50. Carry off to Sterling, working off the screen. Hands it off, or gives it off to the top of the key to Dombeck. Dombeck spinning in, goes up with the left-handed good as he works solo. Willis spun past him, and Dombeck's got 13.
Continuing to play aggressive despite the fact that he has 3 fouls right now.
High ball screen set by Willis as he rolls. Nothing there. Switch, though, and picked up by Barr. They'll look to lob it into him. There's the lob. Able to come away with the catch. Lays it up with a left-handed in. That's the danger, Xavier, you get when you switch those ball screens on the top of the key. You end up with the 5-man guarding the 1 and the 1-man guarding the 5. Tampa took advantage of it there.
Absolutely.
Now Sterling puts it on the floor to the free throw line. Down to the right block past Harvey. Shot high off the glass and in. 14 for Sterling. Lead back to 3 for the Panthers. And Vera displeased with being called for the foul on Harvey. That'll take us to the media timeout. 5:38 to go. Davenport on top by 3 over Tampa, 55-52. You're watching the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. We've had 11 ties and 18 lead changes in a game. Neither team has led by more than 5 points. We've got 5:38 to play, and Davenport leads Tampa by 3 at 55-52. John Armstrong alongside Xavier McKnight. on the final day of the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic.
It's been a good ball game, John. These offenses have really picked it up here in the second half, making it even more enjoyable.
Harvey gives it off to Bryant. Back to the top to Harvey. Harvey gets the ball screen from Bryant on the dribble at the top of the free throw line. Gives it off to Harris. Harris picks up his dribble, nowhere to go with it. Back to Harvey between the circles, down to 6 in the shot clock. Working off a screen from Harris. Three, you have to take a long three, and it's an air ball as the shot clock expires.
Good job by Leach to avoid the contact right there and just force the basket there. You know Harvey did not want to necessarily have to take that three. He didn't look comfortable when he shot the ball.
Spartans just 1 of 10 from behind the arc in the game. And three-pointer came early from Harris. Vera flares out to the top of the key, launches a three. It's off the mark. Dombeck, though, with the rebound, and he'll be fouled on the putback by Harvey. So Jakob Dombeck will go to the line to shoot 2 on Harvey's third foul. Dombeck has done a fantastic job of playing with 3 fouls for the majority of this second half.
Yes, he has, John, and it's up to Tampa now to decide, do you want to continue to lead this big man on the floor, or do you want to force him into foul number 4?
First free throw is good. And with 4 fouls, Tyson Leto will have to come back in. Give the Spartans a little bit more size. Second free throw also good. Dombeck's got 15. The lead is at 5 for the Panthers, matching its largest of the game, which came early in the game, or actually late in the... It came early in the game. It just replaced it on the live stats with their largest lead, so I can't tell you what it actually was. There's a steal.
Excellent job by Berra forcing that turnover. Carrier bringing it up. Now we see Sterling with the ball here on the wing. Dombeck shoots it from the top of the key. It's no good.
And Leto with the rebound. Hands it off to Harvey. Harvey will walk it into the front court. He'll slow it down. His team trailing by 5. Working against Berra. Puts it on the floor to the free throw line. Crossover down to the elbow. Jumper rattles out. Rebound taken down by Dombeck.
Really good defense we see right there by Davenport on that possession.
Now Sterling will walk it into the front court. Coming up on 4 minutes to play. Lead is at 5 for the Panthers. Here's Carrier on the bounce. Cut off by Harris. Picks up his dribble. Gives it back out to Berra. 13 on the shot clock. Berra loops it back to the top to Carey. They'll work it opposite side to Leach. Leach hesitates, has the ball stripped and stolen by Harvey. 3-on-2 break. 3-on-2 break for Tampa. Harvey has it stripped, goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it went off Harvey's leg out of bounds. So Tampa doesn't take advantage of having numbers on that fast break, and that'll bring us to the under 4 media timeout. 3:45 to go. Davenport leading Tampa 57-52. In the MacArthur Center at the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic. You're watching the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Back in a moment. Take a quick peek around the Sunshine State Conference. Only one game's gone final. That's Nova Southeastern, a 20-point win over Francis Marion, 102-82. Most of the other games in conference play have yet to get underway. Wingate and Embry-Riddle, that game should be underway. Scores just not showing up on the scoreboard. Same with Anderson, South Carolina taking on St. Leo. Wisconsin Parkside takes on Florida Southern later today. And Florida Tech will take on Trevecca Nazarene. Eckerd, of course, will face Wayne State in the finale here from the MacArthur Center. Looking at tip-off, probably come around 7:30, maybe a little bit before 7:30. In this one, Davenport's got a 5-point lead over Tampa as we're coming up on 3.5 minutes to play.
We have really seen the pace pick up here in the second half, and you have to contribute a lot of that to the lack of the amount of fouls that have been committed in this second half compared to what we saw in the first half.
Leach's step back three is no good, but Dombeck there with another rebound. Vera drives in, lobs it up for Carrier, but the lob goes off the side of the backboard, underside of the backboard, and here comes Tampa the other way. Leto, Euro step, kicks it back out to Harvey. Harvey puts it on the floor. Cut off on the drive by Barry. He'll have to pull it back out, looking for a high screen from Leto. Bounces now behind the arc. Three-pointer on the way from Harris is an air ball. Sterling with the rebound. Tampa 1 of 11 from three-point range of the game. I believe the Spartans have missed their last 10 three-point attempts after the early make from Harris.
See Sterling here with the ball. Let's see if he can get something else going here for Davenport.
Hands it off.
That one off to
Sterling will be called for the foul on the screen as he and was that Bryant on the far side got tangled up on that screen. Both of them went down hard, slow to get up, and I think they're both okay. They have bumped heads.
That appears to be what happened there, John. They're both kind of rubbing on the noggin there just a little bit.
And Tampa will call timeout. That should be a full. I don't think they've got a 30 left. We'll wait and see what it is. They haven't announced it yet, so we're going to assume it's a full timeout. 2:37 to go. Panthers still leading by 5 here in the MacArthur Center. Back in a minute. Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Well, Tampa basketball out of the timeout. Foul on Sterling was his second. Neither team in the bonus. However, only 5 fouls on Tampa this half. Davenport with just 4. So after a lot of free throws in the first half, we had very few here in the second, as Xavier pointed out just a moment ago. Quick catch and shoot three from Harris. Back iron glass, no good. Rebound taken away by Brown, and he'll be fouled on the putback. Well, Dombeck has played
I don't believe
second half. He just picked up his 4th foul.
Yeah, he has not come out, John, and it doesn't appear that he's about to come out now.
It does not. And Coach Burt Paddock appears to going to go with Dombeck until he picks up his 5th foul. If he does, first free throw from Brown is good. Spartans playing without Micah Brown tonight. Micah Brown started last night. Not been in the game tonight. I think I see him in street clothes on the bench, actually. Second free throw is no good, and Barra gets the rebound off the tip. Well, the lead at 4 for Davenport, 2:15 to go. Here's Barra running the point, directing traffic. 6'8" Harris out to guard him. Bounces at the top now to Dombeck. Hand off to Sterling. Back to Barra. Shot fake on the 3. Dribbling, can't get anywhere against Harris. Now off to the wing to Leach, looking for the post feed. He'll have to dribble to the top of the key, down to 4 on the shot clock. Quick catch and shoot 3 on the way. Rattles out from Sterling, and the rebound to Tampa.
It's coming down to the wire here, John. Expect these teams to both start fouling as we come down to these closing minutes here, because it's still anybody's ball game at this point.
Brown with the bounce pass underneath Leto. Leto had a lane to the basket, but spun the other way, trying to challenge Dombeck to pick up his 5th foul.
He almost did, but the ref held the whistle on that one.
And Barrow away with the rebound. I think instead of the foul. Dombeck got a piece of that shot. Not a clean block, but enough to change its trajectory. 1:15 to go. 4-point ball game, so it's a 2-possession game. And Davenport with the ball. Leach hesitates inside the arc, gives it off to Berra, fakes the three, hesitates himself into the lane. No-look pass to Birchfield. Birchfield has his shot blocked, but he's also fouled by Harris. So Birchfield will go to the line to shoot 2.
See if he can extend this Davenport lead here.
Second trip to the line for Birchfield. He's 1 of 2 from the line in the game, has 7 points. Dombeck leading Davenport with 15. Harris leading the way for Tampa with 16. First free throw rattles out. So the lead remains 4 as White will come back in to replace Leto. Coach Schmidt going for a little bit more perimeter shooting on the floor right now, with the guard White replacing the big man Leto. Tampa with a small lineup on the floor right now, with both Willis and Leto on the bench. Second free throw from Birchfield, also short, and a foul on the rebound. That's going to go on Davenport. And I believe that's Leach Jr. whistled for the foul. Yes, it is. That's his third and the team's 6th. So now both teams will be in the bonus for the final minute 6. Davenport leads by 4.
Harvey letting this one roll. All right, he picks it up now.
Harvey working off a screen at the top, hesitates, drives to the basket, is stripped, but fouled. So he'll head to the line most likely to shoot 2. I believe they'll call that on the shot with 1 minute exactly on the clock. Here's the bonus, but they called it on the shot, so it'll be 2 free throws upcoming for Harvey, his first trip to the free throw line today.
See if he can make his free throws here to dwindle down a very short 4-point lead for Davenport.
Tampa's 3 of 5 from the line in the second half, make it 3 of 6 as the first one from Harvey hits the back iron. Lead remains 4 for Davenport at 57-53. Both teams again have gone cold from the floor. They have to get it done from the free throw line as Harvey gets 1 of 2. So it's now a 1-possession game, 57-54. As Richie Greaves comes in for Tampa. Again, Spartans with a small lineup on the floor at the moment. And will apply full court pressure. It won't guard the inbound pass. White comes out. That's who Greaves came in for. They'll put an extra man denying the inbound pass. Berra breaks free. Now the full court pressure retreats as Harvey out to greet him at half court. Berra looking for the high ball screens, 1 on either side. He'll go to the left, working off Carrier screen. Carrier gets the top of the key, looking for a post feed to Dombeck. It's not there, picks up his dribble. Leach goes to the corner to the basket. High layup off the glass is good.
Nice basket there by Leach.
Leach asking for the foul, slapping himself on the arm, looking at the official as he heads down the floor. But Davenport will call a timeout. That pushes the lead back to 5 for the Panthers at 59-54. With 40.2 seconds left, they take a 30-second timeout. They still have 2 remaining. Tampa has 1 remaining. Possession arrow also favoring Davenport right now, so things favoring the Panthers with 40.2 seconds to go, but they'll definitely need to get a stop here on this next possession. We'll see what Tampa does. Xavier coming down the floor. They've got a small lineup on the floor right now, so would you expect to see them try to attack the basket and score around the rim, or go in and kick it out for a 3?
They may try to kick it out for a 3 here, John, but if you do try to attack the basket, you need to get Dombeck out of the game at some point. He's played this entire second half, but here's the other thing about Tampa. When you get those free throw opportunities, you have to go to the line and make those baskets.
Tampa 17 of 29 from the line in the game. 4 of 7 in the second half. Davenport has gotten to the line a little bit more in the second half. They're 6 of 10 from the free throw line in half number 2. Harvey will take the inbound passes. He lets it roll a little bit. Maybe gains his team a half a second of advantage. Harvey driving to the basket. Floater off the front of the rim is no good, and Dombeck clears the rebound. Now Tampa will have to think about fouling. Try to foul Sterling, then they finally will. Is Bryant Brown able to get him? But a chance for Sterling with these free throws. If he can knock down both, it'll make it a 3-possession game. 25 seconds to go. Davenport up by 5. Sterling has had a good second half. Was quiet at the first. He's got 14 in the game now. This is his first trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, he and Barra have really been the leading charge here in the second half, just as far as the energy and the effort goes here for this Davenport team, as they are just 25 seconds away from their first win of the season.
First free throw is pure, makes it a 6-point game, so it's a 2-possession game at best for the Spartans, who are 1 of 12 from three-point range. And now they need three-pointers. Second free throw, also good, so now a 3-possession game as Birchfield will come back in. Again, 3-point shooting lineup on the floor right now for the Spartans as White takes the inbound pass. Steps into a long three, front iron no good, rebound to Harris. Harris, one dribble, puts up from the baseline, is good. Tampa has a timeout left. Coach Schmidt's not going to take it. Instead, they'll opt to foul Barra as he gets the inbound pass quickly swarmed. And now Barra will head the other way to shoot 1-1.
See if he can knock down his free throws right here to extend this lead even further.
Barra's a perfect 3 of 3 from the line. Spartans still have one more foul to give before putting Davenport into the double bonus. And still a 2-possession game, no matter what happens with Barra's free throws. And he makes the first, so now a 2-possession game at best with 16.2 seconds to go, 62-56. Barra steps up, toes the free throw line. Second one looks like it'll be short. It is. Rebound taken down by Bryant.
They got to get this offense here pretty quickly right here. They don't have much time to work with.
Pushes it up quickly, lays it off the glass and good. So it's a 4-point game with 9.9 seconds to go. Tampa will quickly foul Leach Jr., send him to the line to shoot a pair. This will be a 1-1, the last 1-1 that Davenport will shoot. If Tampa has the opportunity to foul again, it will be in the double bonus. And Hodges will come back in, replacing Sterling. Hodges has not played much in this second half after picking up 3 fouls. Barra's done a fantastic job, though, running the point in his absence. Front in on the way is good for Leach. Makes it a 5-point game. Leach Jr. has 9, chance to get into double digits with his second free throw. Also good. 6-point lead with 7.9 seconds to go. Spartans, not a lot of urgency as they bring it up. 3-pointer is way off the mark. Dombeck with the rebound, and that'll bring this game to a close as the Panthers pick up their first win of the season, 64-58 over Tampa.
It's always a good feeling to get that first one out of the way. Congratulations to Davenport getting a hard-fought win here.
Panthers are led in scoring by Sterling with 16 points. Dombeck had 15, 13 off the bench for Barra, and 10 for Leach Jr. Tampa was led in scoring by Harris with 18. Jonathan Bryant Jr. had 12. Bryant Brown off the bench with 10 points. We'll wait and see. Be probably close to a 7, maybe a little after a 7:30 tip-off. Our next game is Eckerd College will take on Wayne State College in the finale. Any final thoughts on this one, Xavier, before we wrap things up and set the stage later on for Eckerd's game against Wayne State?
Yeah, just once again, a great job to Davenport coming out here and making the adjustments they needed to make coming into this second half. Dombeck did an excellent job despite the foul trouble of just being aware of where he needed to be on the floor at all times. He remained aggressive throughout most of this ball game, and Coach continued to stick with him out there. He played with fire there, keeping him out there, but he kept him out there, and he didn't disappoint.
It was definitely I don't know. It was a bit of a gutsy move there by Coach Paddock to leave Dombeck out after picking up his 3rd foul early in the half, but he put a lot of faith in his transfer. And Dombeck delivered, showed he knows how to play in foul trouble, and actually I felt like he was even more effective playing with 3 fouls, maybe just allowed him to play a little bit smarter instead of overly aggressive.
And also we saw Jordan Sterling also continue to get it going here in the second half as well. You got to give Leach credit as well for what he did on the defensive end. Leach literally almost looked like a Leach out there at times on those Tampa defenders out there.
So we'll wrap things up here from the MacArthur Center for the time being. We'll be back in about 25 minutes for the pregame show as the Eckerd College Tritons look to improve to 4-0 on the season. Got a tough test on their hands taking on the 5-1 Wildcats from Wayne State College. I'm John Armstrong, joined by Xavier McKnight. We'll see you in about 25 minutes for the pregame for Eckerd College's contest. You're watching the Eckerd College Thanksgiving Classic on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.